What's up, CHFFL? It's time for the conference championship previews. It's already getting a little past 11, so I'm going to try and get right in. First, we have the anime conference. Max against Wes. After Max in my very disappointing game last week, he did emerge victorious. And I was going to play something from End of Evangelion to wallow in my self-pity, but instead I thought I'd give Wes something he might like. And thank you, Wes, for making such a great conference name. I had a ton of fun this year, even though it didn't work out for me in the end. I loved my team, loved everything about it. So, Max versus Wes. Week 2, Wes lost 110 to Max with 169, and in Week 12, Wes lost again 119 to 151. So Max 2-0 on the year. Let's see, though, if it's looking like he can make it 3-0. All right, injuries. Max somehow is even more injured than he was last week against me. Gordon's still out, and now Austin Eckler was also out, so Max couldn't even start the third stringer. Jackson, I think, on Thursday. Pa started him, actually. OBJ missing another week. Just reminder that Sanders and Hunt are gone, and now Spencer Ware, the backup for Kareem Hunt, is also out. So Max has had just about as bad of injury luck as anybody could possibly have. Wes mixing James Conner, and I threw that he had to drop Quincy Enunwa in there. I don't really think it changed anything, but just to be fair, I wanted to cover all the bases. Let's go position by position. Max, Patrick Mahomes, only 18 points on Thursday, which is a fine score, but Mahomes has had such a killer season that Max was hoping for a bigger boost from him. Wes is Andrew Luck against Dallas, probably going to beat Mahomes 18 points. I'd say that's probably more likely than not. A good matchup for him, and Luck has also been very good this year. Running backs. Max starting Damian Williams. Oh, he started Damian Williams, and I think for Spencer Ware, I think he's the substitute. 31 points, very good score. Josh Adams against the Rams. Adams has been hyped up a lot, but I don't think he's really produced the way people have been hoping as Philadelphia's lead guy. Rams, a kind of tough matchup, not insurmountable. Kamara with a rough matchup Monday night against Carolina, the fourth best defense in that department. And David Johnson, though, has a great matchup against the Falcons, who, since I live down in Georgia, I get to hear all the time about how much bums they are on defense. Let's go to wide receivers. So let's just see here. 31 points from Williams. I think this is probably going to end up being a toss-up, though, because Kamara and Johnson are just way better than Josh Adams is. So even with the one good score, I'd probably put running backs as a wash. Wide receivers, got Thielen against Miami for Max and Tyler Boyd, Oakland. And finally, Curtis Samuel, who's been a solid wide receiver 3, going Monday night with the Saints. A great matchup for him. And then for West, Tyreek Hill, very disappointing with only 8 points. But then DeAndre Hopkins, who I think was battling some injuries, ended up with 41 points. So between the two of them, you're looking at about 24 each. And then Mike Evans will go against Baltimore, a very difficult matchup for him. So wide receivers, kind of like running backs. I don't know, Wes has all the points on the board. Max has more potential, though, to have somebody go off because his guys aren't done already. But 41 points from Hopkins is huge. Still looking pretty even to me. Tight ends. Max with Vernon Davis against Jackson, taking advantage of injury to Jordan Reed. Jacksonville, middle of the road against tight ends. I don't really, like I said last week, worry about the matchup with tight ends unless it's just a great defense, though. And then Wes has George Kittle against Seattle. While Davis is a good start whenever Reed is hurt, Redskins looked terrible with Alex Smith last week. Kittle has the chance at getting a go-off game, which as Davis doesn't. So tight ends, I think, is a pretty big advantage for Wes at this point. Defense. Max playing the Seahawks against the very inept San Francisco 49ers. Great matchup there. Wes playing the Falcons against Arizona. So Wes is trying to do what Max did to me last week, where he takes a team with a terrible defense and puts them against a good matchup, because the Falcons are terrible, but Arizona's offense has been terrible as well. I stand by the fact that Max's start last week was not that great. It just happened to work out. And I think Max has a big advantage this week. The Seahawks are a much better start than the Falcons. So, going over everything, yeah, I do think that this is close, and with a lot of guys going Monday night, I think this could come down to the Monday night game. Actually, I think both playoff games this week could come down to the Monday night game. But I'm still going with Wes, just because Max is even more injured somehow than last week. And really knowing that Mahomes only got 18 and he only got 3 points from his kicker, too. I don't really talk about kickers, but a three's a bad score. I think Wes has the edge. I think this will be a great game. We've been anticipating it all year, even though these guys have played twice, but the inevitable playoff matchup has been anticipated. I think it'll be great. Best of luck to both of you guys. Then thanks for having me in your conference this year, and I'll be back shortly to preview Parker against Stan. Goodbye.